Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, there's some things you got to know. There was a journalist who was absolutely captured while in Syria covering the war. He was captured by the Muslim Brotherhood freedom fighters, or the rebels. His name, he's a journalist, he's a photographer, a journalist. His name is Jonathan Alpelri. And I'll put the spelling down there, Jonathan Alpelri. He was held for 81 days by the rebels and heard the fighting going on, and he was taking shelling, everything, finally before they let him go. He says he was asked directly last night by Tucker Carlson on Fox News, did he believe Assad fired the chemical weapons? And he gives you a shocking answer that no, it was the Muslim Brotherhood. And this guy was held for 81 days. He was there. He was a hostage. 81 days. I watched it. I was watching it live when he said it. Almost fell over. It was late at night. And I went, what? But I've been gone all day. We had a wedding, different things. But I waited till I found some audio. I acquired some audio tape. Here we go. I want you to hear it. His very words as Tucker Carlson of Fox News, who was filling in for Sean Hannity on the Hannity show on Fox, asked journalist Jonathan the direct question, and for the next minute, listen to his answer.
Do you believe, Jonathan, that the Assad regime used chemical weapons?
Personally, I do not. I think the situation is very confused on the ground. It's very hard to tell what's going on, even if the UN is coming in trying to figure out what's going on. It took them a bunch of days to go inside the actual area that was shelled.
Right. So, but you do, just to be clear, you do not believe that the Assad regime used chemical weapons. What do you think happened?
Personally, I do not. I think it could be very likely that the more Islamist portions of the rebellion is actually using these weapons.
That it was a false flag operation designed to bring the United States in to the battle against Assad?
Exactly, because on a strategic and tactical level, I do not understand why the Assad regime would use chemical weapons, especially now considering that they're winning this conflict. They've taken back a lot of the strategic parts of the nation. There's no need to use these banned weapons. They could still win by using conventional weapons.
Folks, that's exactly what I've been saying to you for over a week now. That why would Assad use chemical weapons to gas his own people? And oh, by the way, I heard another journalist talking about it who also had got reports from Syria that said so far there's been 13 counts of chemical weapons used in this battle. It's believed to have been by both sides, potentially. But certainly this, and that was between each other fighting. I don't know if that's true or not, okay? There's so much propaganda going on. But this guy's not lying. This guy was held hostage 81 days by the freedom fighters. And yet they knew that he was there to cover the war, and that he was, and they held him, and he believes that Assad did not do this, but it was a false flag to draw, I think he said, to draw America in to the war. Is he sure about that? Let me hear it. Let's listen one more time here.
More Islamist portions of the rebellion is actually using these weapons.
That it was a false flag operation designed to bring the United States in to the battle against Assad?
Exactly, because...
Here's the thing. Did the Muslim Brotherhood use the chemical weapons to draw America into the war against Assad? Or may I, God forbid, may I make this suggestion, or did America encourage them to do it, to give America a reason to enter into the conflict? God forbid. God forbid that's the answer. I don't know the answer. But I've been saying that it was a false flag. I've been saying that it was the Muslim Brotherhood that did it and are trying to draw America into the battle. And I think that's why Britain backed off yesterday and the parliament voted no. We're not going to go in. I think that's why everybody's backing off. And now, actually, I believe Obama is backing off. Let me read to you exactly what Obama said Just now, President Barack Obama laid out this afternoon a case for a targeted military action against Syrian regime targets as a result of their use of chemical weapons that killed over 1,000 people. It was actually 1,429 people, including hundreds of children, 426 children to be exact. We've got that information. The president also made clear that this would be an open-ended intervention, and there will be no American troops on the ground. While the president was clear on the need for action, he announced he would seek congressional authorization for the use of forces. Now, what's really weird about this, matter of fact, he should always go to Congress. That's what the Constitution says. So that part I'm glad. But since when does he now need Congress? Is he out on a limb right now with Shirley MacLaine? Has he got out on a limb and somebody's about to whack it off and leave him stranded as maybe being blamed for the false flag, and he realizes it and say, whoa, I'm going to put this back on the Congress? Because he never asked Congress when he went in with the no-fly zone over Libya. Remember that. So he isn't that he wouldn't do it, but he's backing off. And I really feel that even though John Kerry was pounding the desk and saying he knew for sure and something should be done, I think now journalists like Jonathan Alpere, I think that the information's leaking out now. That hold it. Assad, even though he's not pure as the wind-driven snow, he may not have done this, and this may have been a false flag operation by the Muslim Brotherhood. And should we be shocked if it wasn't? I mean, wouldn't you be shocked if... I'm not shocked the Muslim Brotherhood would do that. My Lord have mercy. They've murdered and killed and executed and crucified and beheaded and blew up little children and put on strap-on suicide vests, and they don't care. They don't care. So, but now wait a minute. Let me tell you what Putin is saying. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Saturday said he dismissed today, August 31st, 2013, he dismissed as that Syria had used chemical weapons and demanded that the United States provide the proof. Speaking after the United States released an intelligence report, Vladimir Putin stands up strong and says, look, common sense speaks for itself. He told the journalist, why would Assad do this when he was winning the war? Let's listen to this journalist one more time as he explained. This guy was held captive 81 days. And, I mean, why would he? He would know, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he pretty well know? And they just let him out. So wouldn't he know? Here we go.
Hideout, we're empowering the Muslim Brotherhood.
Do you believe, Jonathan, that the Assad regime used chemical weapons?
Personally, I do not. I think the situation is very confused on the ground. It's very hard to tell what's going on, even if the UN is coming in trying to figure out what's going on. It took them a bunch of days to go inside the actual area that was shelled.
Right. So, but you do, just to be clear, you do not believe that the Assad regime used chemical weapons. What do you think happened?
Personally, I do not. I think it could be very likely that the more Islamist portions of the rebellion is actually using these weapons.
That it was a false flag operation designed to bring the United States in to the battle against Assad?
Exactly, because on a strategic and tactical level, I do not understand why the Assad regime would use chemical weapons, especially now considering that they're winning this conflict. They've taken back a lot of the strategic parts of the nation.
That's what I've been saying.
To use these banned weapons, they could still win by using conventional weapons.
Yeah, so why would Assad, that he's winning the war? This guy knows Assad's winning because he was a hostage 81 days by the Muslim Brotherhood. He heard the shelling, he heard the fighting, he saw the strategic attacks, he watched as they were retreating and said, why would Assad then gas a bunch of civilians when he was already winning? He was going to win. It's because this man believes it was a false flag, and he believes it was done by the Muslim Brotherhood to draw America into the battle. Now, Obama may have gotten more information and said, whoa, wait a minute, I'm not going to go in. let's let the Congress look at some more of this information. Congress will tell me what to do. That way the blame is not all on me if we're wrong. And I think we may see a delay here, or maybe not even any attack at all, because I just don't see Obama overriding the Congress now that he's given them the vote. He has basically given the power to the Congress. What will the Congress do? We're going to wait and see. I'm Pastor Paul Begley, but this is information, very important, that I felt you need to know. God bless. And don't miss tomorrow's Sunday Night Live, because we may be in the war. There may be explosions, but I don't think so. I think, though, that things are going to, maybe some clarity is starting to come to the situation. And I'm praying, and we've been praying. And Friday in our live broadcast, we prayed and prayed for peace in Jerusalem, peace in Syria. God bless. In Jesus' name.